Testing 1, 2, 3.
We're here at the Grape with 3 Washington State winemakers. We've got David Murfield, who to the whole of the rest of the world is known as Murph.
Except for my mother.
David. And he is the winemaker at North Star Winery. Coming around, we've got Marcus Notaro. He's the winemaker at Col Solare. And coming around further, the only French member of the contingent, Serge Laville, who's the winemaker at Spring Valley Vineyard. All 3 of these vineyards are in Washington State. And gentlemen, perhaps I could ask you first of all, Marcus, I didn't think that their wine was grown very much in Washington State. Is that apparent? Is it large, small? How does it compare with the rest of the U.S.?
The rest of the U.S., Washington is the 2nd largest producer of wine grapes. Actually, our vineyard land area is actually even a little bit bigger than the Napa Valley. There's 650 wineries in eastern Washington, and the grape varieties, we grow Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot are probably the most popular red grapes, and then Chardonnay and Riesling being the most popular whites. But we're in the eastern part of the state. Washington State's divided by the Cascade Mountains, large mountain range, 14,000 feet high. That blocks all the Pacific weather storms, drops all the rain and things in Seattle. So we grow our grapes in kind of a high desert type climate. Very unique spot.
Okay. So that's the area. Now, suppose we were to talk about the kinds of grapes that do well. Tell us about that, Murph.
Well, as Marcus said, you know, the red varietals that do well are Merlot, Cabernet. There's also, you know, a lot of other varietals that do well, white ones as well as Chardonnay and Riesling. But because we have that shadow effect with the mountains, all the rain falls on the western part of the state, and basically the eastern part of Washington is desert-like, sandy soils. But we do have a lot of snow in the winter, so we have the capability to irrigate. Which is great for vines. We can control the amount of water that goes into our vineyards, so you can make these all kinds of different quality and profiles of wine. So we get these intense skin to pulp ratios by controlling the irrigation, the canopy size. So usually a typical thing about Washington wines you try are these big, bold wines with lots of acid, because we have the cool nights during ripening, which locks in the acid.
What would the temperature be, say, in the height of the growing season in the summer?
Well, you can get it. Well, height of the growing season, we can get up into the 90s, and we will get triple digits.
Irrigation, which happen all the time actually in Washington or in Walla Walla. So there is this nice tool which is irrigation. We can irrigate, and at the same time the plant is always in a dry area, in the comfort zone basically, and meaning less disease problem and more on time for the fruit. An harvest in France, usually, you know, first of all, you can have a lot of water during spring and during flowering, and that's already bad news for the vineyards. I've been living in Walla Walla for now 10 years, and most of the spring and growing season are excellent. They are much more consistent than in Europe and in France. Plus, the end of growing season is usually perfect. We have days in the 75 degrees. We can leave the fruit actually longer, hanging longer on the vines, developing more complexity, making more complex wine, of course. And if there is a lack of water, we can irrigate. So that's a huge difference between the Cabernet Sauvignon from France and from Washington.
Thank you very much.